Hi, here are a few tips that can go a long way to help you learn how to play what is probably going to be your first bar chord. These are a few tips to make playing B minor much easier. Most people find bar chords to be kind of a big hurdle at first, but there's a few things you can do to make it a lot easier. And the reason I chose B minor is because that seems to be the one that you can only get just so far without playing B minor. You can avoid a lot of your other bar chords for quite a while, but pretty early on you find that you're going to want to play B minor, and you're going to want to play something more than just these four strings. You may have seen B minor written this way, but without the B in the bass, it's not as pleasing. So it doesn't have to be as hard as you think. The first thing I'm going to do is to use classical position. Under my left foot, I have a little stack of books, and you can get a proper guitar stand, foot stand if you want, but you don't need to. Books work pretty good. And the reason classical guitarists hold their guitar this way is because it enables them to do things that they could not do otherwise. So it can also enable you to play your B minor, even if you can't play it otherwise. You don't have to do this forever. It seems like once you get the hang of it, then you can go back to holding your guitar the other way, and you'll still be able to play your B minor. I'm also going to suggest putting a capo on the 5th fret or somewhere in that neighborhood. Of course, this is no longer actually technically truly a B minor up here, but it's the same shape. And what you're going to do is go ahead and make your B minor shape. The third tip I'm going to give you, this tip you're going to keep and use it with lots of chords and in lots of other situations. Rather than try to make this bar really straight and flat, you're going, notice how my elbow's out a little bit? I'm going to bring my elbow in, turn to the side of my finger. This finger is actually going to be a little bit curved too. These fingers are squeezing on the second, third, and fourth strings, and so this finger doesn't have to squeeze the second, third, and fourth string. This finger only has to squeeze the first string and the 5th string. So again, to achieve that, we're not having a straight finger, and we're not using the bottom, of our finger. We're using the side of our finger. So you're going to turn your finger a little bit. So you're using the side of your finger. You're only worried about squeezing the 1st string and the 5th string. These strings are also turned slightly rather than being exactly 90-degree angles like this. Notice how my elbow's a little bit out when I'm trying to make them 90-degree angles. Bring my elbow in, turn them a little bit to the side. This technique is also in my other video, Hot Tip for Beginning Guitarists, and it's very helpful, and I'll go into more detail with that in that video. So here we are. Making B minor is a lot easier here than it was. I think I mentioned transposing keys to avoid playing chords you don't like. That will only get you so far. I hope you've been taught how to transpose. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult, and it's totally handy. And if you haven't been taught how to transpose, watch for a video from me on that. I'll be making one of those soon. So here's an example of a song that has three minor chords in it, and even if you transpose it, it's going to be hard to find a key you can play this song in without playing some sort of bar chord.